Djokovic, a modern athlete of Jesus Christ. He has the courage to pull out his cross despite the Olympics banning the use of religious symbols at this event. This is not only a champion of tennis, but he is a champion of Christ. He should inspire us also to be champions of Christ. Hello, my friends. I wanted to say a few more things regarding the disgraceful, satanic, disgusting opening ceremony of the Olympics this year. There are some things that are worth mentioning. I've already made a full video with the full analysis of the symbolism in the ceremony. You can view it on Rumble because it was copyright blocked on YouTube, but there are a few more details I would like to discuss before moving on to other subjects. So of course here we see the Last Supper being mocked by these degenerates, and I've already talked about this, everyone knows this. Just wanted to have a nice opening screen where we can see the whole debauchery with the drag queens, the transgenders, and all the other weirdos present here. Unfortunately, they also have a child, which they are grooming because they are into pedophile stuff too, unfortunately. And in one of the videos presented at the ceremony, they even showed one of these degenerates pull a book out of a library, which was called Le Diable au Corps, which means the devil in the flesh. It is the story of a young married woman who has an affair with a 16-year-old boy, while her husband is away fighting at the front. Sounds like a book that they would be into, pedophilia-themed books, and they want to share that with everyone else. I don't know why they are doing this. So I wanted to see what the reactions were. People say, they said that they are apologizing, but they're not really apologizing. And I want you to see this in this video here.
This group, on the contrary, I think that Thomas Joly really tried to really intend to celebrate community tolerance. That was his word yesterday. And looking at the result of the polls that we shared.
So they tried to celebrate. She says, on the contrary, so she didn't try to offend anyone. They didn't try to offend anyone. On the contrary, they tried to do it in the name of community acceptance. Well, how can you do it in the name of community acceptance and tolerance if you're going to offend a part of that community and a very huge chunk of the audience? How are the teams portrayed in the ceremony accepting of Christians, for example? So you seem to accept only one part of the community and not the other part of the community by making fun of their religion, their culture. This is not acceptance. This is exclusion and the promotion of only one side of the community, which I believe to be a degenerate part of the community. And this should have nothing to do with the Olympics at all. It's not about sports.
We believe that this ambition was achieved if people have taken any...
This ambition was achieved. Well, you have no brain if you think this.
offense. We are, of course, really, really sorry.
Oh, we are really sorry. But, we wanted to make something completely ignoring what you might think of it. But we are sorry. But you also consider that what we did was good. It's like that. What? It's like, what is this?
It was a ceremony like no other, and those are games like no other. I think that our hosts, it's easy for me to say, and we should all be grateful and thankful, they have put together a vision for these games, which is unprecedented. It's an incredible vision.
A vision of degeneracy from the Olympics CEO of broadcasting.
For the games, we're trying to showcase that in the best possible way.
That's the best possible way, for sure. Offending 2.4 billion Christians.
Intention n'a jamais été d'être.
Our intention was never to be impertinent or to be subversive, as I said earlier.
Impertinent ou d'être subversif, comme je l'ai dit tout à l'heure. Notre idée, c'est simplement que oui, dans cette grande diversité,
Our idea was simply that with this great diversity,
il y a besoin d'être conjointement.
we wanted to collectively include everyone. How are you including everyone if you offend a huge chunk of the people watching?
Nous avons.
Like, you can have your gaze or whatever, but do it in a way that doesn't offend other people by not mocking their religion.
En tout cas, voulu nous conjointement inclure tout le monde. Voilà.
And why would you want to have, dancing transgenders in a sports opening ceremony?
En France, la création artistique est libre.
Now he goes on to show that he's proud of his French culture, where freedom of artistic creation is so enlightened.
C'est le premier article de la loi sur la liberté de création. J'en ai profité.
Freedom of creation. I take advantage of it. So, this is the artistic director of the ceremony of Paris 2024. So, yeah, he did take advantage of it. Definitely took advantage of it to promote some dumb things. What he should be doing instead is representing the views of everyone watching. Everyone watching a sports event. They don't want to be lectured about LGBTQ stuff. They don't want to be lectured about feminism. They don't want to watch some ridiculous things with their children.
J'en profite, comme d'autres libertés en France, dans ce pays, on a la chance de ça. Il n'y avait pas de volonté pour moi de passer de messages plus, comment dire...
There was no desire to give a more specific message. Well, I think it was a very specific message. For the whole ceremony, there was nothing about anything else but the LGBTQ people and some feminism lectures. That's all I saw.
Militants.
And a bit of Satanism too.
C'était simplement des messages républicains. En France, on a le droit de s'aimer.
A Republican message. In France, we're allowed to love who we want, how we want. Well, great for you. But again, this is the Olympics. It's about the world.
Comme on veut, avec
It's
qui.
about the world and it's about sports. Why do you have everything? Why do you have to make everything about sex?
On veut. En France, on a le droit de croire ou de ne pas croire. En France, on a le droit, on a beaucoup de droits, voilà. Et c'était l'idée de
I wanted to convey those values throughout the ceremony. What a strange person to pick as a creative director. He only thinks about the values of France regarding sexual preferences. Don't they have any other values?
faire transparaître ces valeurs-là à travers la cérémonie.
So we made it very clear from the IOC an operational mistake was made. We can only apologise in an evening of so many moving parts that mistake was made, and we apologise to people from the Republic of Korea for that error.
They even managed to piss off Korea.
하지 않아야 될 일이 일어났고 또 일어났을 때는 대처가 잘 해서 또 이 관련해서도 국민들께 사과를 해야 하는 여러 가지 일정들을 저희가 지금 이루어지도록 요청을 했고요. 우리나라의 국민으로서도
All right. The values of the creative director, I guess, is for people to see someone's ballsack on screen, including the children watching. That's the values they want to show there. Also, the person was, in place of Jesus Christ. Which, of course, Jesus Christ is someone she actually hates, is actually an activist for the LGBT community. And we can see here on her post that she made and that later she deleted. She was proud about this picture. And she said, "Oh yes, the New Gay Testament." Later they changed the story, and it was all about some other pagan celebration. They said that they wanted to replicate that, but it didn't look nothing like that. It looks like the Christian Last Supper. And of course it was a very bad decision to piss off billions of Christians. And she looks like a troll from Lord of the Rings, or one of those zombies in 7 Days to Die. Of course, this whole situation made a very big company from America to remove their sponsorship. Ceasefire, the wireless internet provider in the United States, they pulled off. They said, "We are shocked by the ceremony of the Last Supper during the opening ceremonies of the Paris Olympics. Ceasefire will be pulling our advertising from the Olympics," the company announced on X. Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves chimed in after the announcement. "I am proud to see the private sector in Mississippi step up and put their foot down. God will not be mocked. Ceasefire drew a common sense appropriate line." It's good to see governors from America doing open public declarations like this, and also applauding the gestures of the public sector, which also put their foot down. And they're showing that they have some principles and they care about them, which is good. That's what we all should have, the fire of good, the fire of Christ within our hearts. Do not betray Christ for some money or just to look good in front of other people. Now, we also had Donald Trump say something about this. So here's what he said.
The ceremony was a disgrace, actually. I thought it was a disgrace.
The mocking of the Last Supper.
I thought it was
Catholics and Christians across
I thought it
across
was
the globe are outraged.
I mean, they can do certain things. I thought it was terrible.
Can you say at the next Olympics, if you're present, you'll have enough influence on the organizers that we won't be, insulting Christians?
We won't be having a Last Supper as portrayed the way they portrayed it the other night. I just think, look, I'm for everybody. I'm very open-minded. You understand.
Yeah.
You know me better than most people know me. I'm very open-minded. But I thought what they did was a disgrace.
Have you watched any of the Olympics?
So, as you can see, it's because of statements like this that I kind of believe this guy could change some things. Now, because if Kamala Harris becomes president, it will for sure be woke, just like the Paris ceremony. Because the next Olympics will be held in America. So maybe the president will have a word in influencing the artistic direction of the event, maybe. I don't know. So if Kamala Harris becomes president, you might have something exactly like this again. A sexy catwalk from a degenerate transgender. Of course, we had the pale horse also appeal. Behold the pale horse, the horse of the apocalypse that brings the hunger, that brings the wars, that brings the beasts of the earth. We also had a scene with some children being taken away in a boat in the underground by a hooded figure with no face. Not suspicious at all. And we had beheadings. This is the beheading of Marie Antoinette by the French Revolution. Marie Antoinette being the Queen of France, and the French Revolution being orchestrated by Freemasonry to remove the old systems and replace them with the steps that eventually lead to what we see today with these degenerates. And there's something very interesting. The characters at the Olympic ceremony look very, very similar to the people in Hunger Games. They look very, very, very similar. These are like the evil people who enjoyed watching other people killing each other to the last one, similarly to in a game like PUBG, inside of a domed area. So we are heading into that way where the leadership will probably look similar to this, and in reality we will have wars and hunger because of these idiots. It will just appear on the television or on streaming, and they will just talk about their sexual preferences instead of talking about the real things, the real issues. Of course, there are other companies. The fact that Ceasefire retired sponsoring the Olympics is a good thing, but other companies didn't. These, of course, are even bigger companies that we know, and that I think they are sold out to the demons. Now, in this show, coincidentally or not, the picture was split in 3 parts, each having 6 neons together forming the number of the beast 666. Now, of course, we didn't just have one bearded man posing in front of the world, but we also had this guy from Eurovision winning the Eurovision, but this was a long time ago in 2012. But I just wanted to show you anyway. That's the propaganda in the European Union is quite big. But also in this year's Eurovision, we had other degenerates. We had these Satanists, queers. It's not me saying that, it's them. She said she's a witch and a queer, and that she's very proud of it. We also had this non-binary promoting guy who won the contest this year. So there's a lot of this LGBTQ stuff being shoved down people's throats in the main international competitions. Now, very interestingly, we also have Andrew Tate boycotting the Olympics. He says he will watch nothing. The opening ceremony, planned and orchestrated by a gay Jew, was disgusting. I will be placing signs outside of the French embassy in Romania tomorrow at 7 p.m. Respect Jesus. And so I'm mentioning this because this happens in my country.
Ready to go to jail, baby? Let's go to jail. Jail for Jesus. Jail for Jesus. Amen. Amen.
So they went to protest in front of the embassy of France in Romania, and later complained that the police filed something against them or something. That will happen. No matter what you're protesting, it doesn't matter if you're protesting something that was against Jesus Christ. But for any protest, you will have problems, because here you have to get a permit to protest from the local authorities, from the city hall, to be able to protest. Do the French embassy deserve this? Of course. Now, these bastards also banned the use of religious symbols at the Olympics. So people are finding new creative ways to still show their beliefs. And here is an athlete from Brazil. Here she is showing the nails from Jesus Christ's crucifixion. And Brazilian people believe in Jesus a lot. They have this big statue in the country with Jesus Christ. And the surfers wanted to use Jesus Christ on their boards. The opening ceremony wasn't the only anti-Christian message sent to the world by the Olympic Committee. 2 weeks before the games, Brazilian surfer João Chianca was ordered to remove the image of Jesus Christ from his surfboard or be barred from competing. Chanka commented in a now deleted Instagram story that he was not authorized to have Jesus on his board because Christ is a religious figure and the games have strict rules and focus on total neutrality. João appears to have complied and is competing today. You believe he should have stood his ground and dropped out? Maybe. That is a different question, but for sure they even lied at the conference, apologizing only for that Last Supper thing. Like, seriously, that's the only thing they think that we are offended by? But you know who is not afraid to show his Christian colors? Djokovic from Serbia, who pulls out his cross after winning at the Olympics. He doesn't care if he loses the Olympics because of this. He only cares about his principles and virtues. And like him, we should not compromise for our careers, because the spirit is more important than your career. So this is a man, a champion of sports and of Christ that everyone can inspire from. At this point, I don't think we have a COVID pandemic. I think we have a pandemic of degeneracy. It's not just these people. For example, we got people forcing kids to be what they're not. Here we have Megan Fox forcing her sons to be like girls. These are Megan Fox's sons. We used to live in the same gated community and our kids played at the park. I saw two of them have a full-on breakdown saying they were forced by their mom to wear girls' clothes as their nanny tried to console them. It's pure child abuse. Pray for them. Look at this. These are the people that some idiots worship. It seems like there's a lot of degenerates accepted in the movie industry. Some of them do break out of it, like Mel Gibson, but most of them are still stuck in that system. They say that it's the kids who want to become girls, but in many cases it's not. It's the woke-tards forcing their kids to do what they don't want, which is wear the opposite sex clothes, and later they put them on hormones and completely destroy them for the rest of their lives. So that's why we must be against this at all times. It's satanic. Wokeness is not just wokeness, it's satanic, okay? Apparently God was not so happy about this. The whole ceremony had to rain all the time. Like, it was storming the whole time for 4 hours. But we also have claims of power outages within Paris after the ceremony. But the church seemed to be still good. So that's what's very interesting. The church has lights, but the rest of the town doesn't. Reports indicate a massive power outage has struck Paris. Here's some video too. Of course, we also have Snoop Dogg rocking the Baphomet at the Olympics. So yes, what I'm saying is just stay vigilant. Every time you see a public event in front of many people, they're gonna show who's behind it, who controls the narrative, what they want to promote for the future. And what they want to promote is complete degeneracy and the satanic system. These people worship Satan. They don't care what we think. And we have to show them what we think. And we have to put our foot down in the ground. Expose them, show our disagreement, share it with our communities, and keep our world and our minds safe from this negative satanic influence. And of course, I'm not a perfect Christian myself. I'm just a regular guy, but time has come. It's too much. It's too much. We have to talk against it And I've been talking against it not just from this point, but it's gotten really bad. You know, when I started making this channel, I just found a few symbols here and there in video games, and that's what I showed on YouTube. Did I think the world was really in trouble at the time? Not so much, because we still didn't have censorship. Conspiracy videos were trending on YouTube at the time, but now they delete all the videos and they remove channels, you know, big channels that talk about conspiracy theories, such as the scariest movie ever. They put us all in the COVID, the pandemic was a really scary place. You know, putting everyone on lockdown, making everyone believe into the brainwash, getting as many people as they could against the people who were against the vaccine and who are against the wokeness and the LGBTQ propaganda. No, it's hard to be against this stuff. It's hard. It's not easy to fight for the values of a Christian. But we gotta do it. It's our duty, and that's what I want to do. Okay? So occasionally I may be posting some music or a game review, but the main idea about this channel is to talk against these Satanists and these people who conspire against us. It's a battle of ideas. It's a battle for our future. And so let's not follow these guys and instead follow this guy. Follow Jesus Christ, and you may have a chance, because he's the one that will lead you to a place that is good for you and not eternal nothingness, eternal light.